1977, George Lucas formed a legacy.
The Force is with me, and I am with the Force.
Inspired by mythology, his saga has become a passion for many.
Feel the Force around you.
His legend has become our story.
It's true. All right.
One of resistance.
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down.
Rebellion.
Rebellion is built on hope.
And redemption.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is Star Wars Reactions.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 56 of Star Wars Reactions. We are going to have just a fun, laid-back show for you today. It's going to be great. We haven't done one of these in a while, so it's going to be fun. My name is Aaron Harris. I am one of your hosts here, and joining me is the Thrawn to my Ruch, the David Motters. David, what's up, brother?
Hey, brother. Very nice comparison. You had a really good one there, man. You're ready to rock. Well, you're ready to rock. I'm ready to react. I need to say that. I like to say it. It's my little thing at the start. And just looking forward to recording with you again. Feel like we're kind of getting back in the groove after, like you and I've said on previous episodes, kind of a rough August. So it's nice to be on with you, buddy.
Yeah, it's nice to be getting back into the groove of things after my family's battle with COVID, and everybody's doing better and getting back into their routines, and everybody's still got a little bit of tired and a little bit of cough, but we're all pretty much back to our normal routine. So it is nice to be back to as normal as we can be during this time. So as I said when we opened the show, we're doing things just a little bit different this week. We are, of course, Bad Batch is over, and I said we were going to have a nice laid-back show. Welcome to episode 56, Random Chatter, Volume 3. That's right, Random Chatter episode is back. Basically, we're just going to be shooting the breeze about anything or everything we want to Star Wars related, maybe even something not Star Wars related. Who knows with us in these episodes? That's what makes them so much fun. Then we haven't, I think the last one we did was episode 34. It was before the Bad Batch started. I'd have to go back in the records and in our spreadsheets and go through the show notes. But yeah, this is just going to be a laid back discussion about Star Wars and what we're thinking and what our interests are now, just whatever we want. So you ready for this, David?
I am, buddy. I enjoyed the first two random chatters we did. And when you said, hey, let's do one, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I like this, especially after, just like you said, buddy, we've been so regimented on trying to make sure we covered all the episodes of Bad Batch. So I'm really glad you suggested it. And this will be fun. And hopefully listeners will have fun with it too. It'll just be laid back and we'll just kind of riff off each other.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be great. I know at the end of our last episode, I said we were going to be doing the Disney Gallery Mandalorian episode that they released, talking about the finale. We're still doing that. We're just going to do that next week. So be on the lookout for that. But we're just going to shoot the breeze right now, go through for a few things. Definitely, I want to talk about some of the news that came out this week, which was pretty stinking awesome. First off, I actually just want to congratulate the cast and crew of, since we're talking Mandalorian, of The Mandalorian. Apparently the Hollywood Critics Association Awards were the other night, and The Mandalorian Season 2 won Best Streaming Drama. Yeah. So congrats to them. I know the Ming Na Wen, who played, oh my gosh, I just blanked on the bounty hunter's name.
Well, I'm here to help. You know, I always back you up. Fennec Shan.
Thank you. I saw it on her Instagram. She posted an awesome picture of John Favreau and Dave Filoni, each of them holding their award as the executive producers. And it looks so good. I don't think I've ever seen Dave smile that big ever. He is literally grinning ear to ear.
Yeah.
But they're awesome. Congrats to them. That is quite a steal at the beginning of award season for them. I'm so happy, and it's well deserved. Season 2 of Mandalorian was incredible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for years, and you and I have talked about it, there's always been the view by Star Wars fans that Star Wars movies and animation and TV shows get short shifted or just, kind of the short end of the deal on a lot of things. So this was really nice to see this. And there's a lot of streaming shows out there, so for them to win this, that's impressive.
Oh, it's huge. It's because I don't have the list in front of me of who they were up against. But I'm actually going through, Disney Plus actually had a pretty good showing there. Did you watch WandaVision, David?
I did.
So, Catherine Hahn won Best Supporting Actress. She was in WandaVision. She was the neighbor.
Yes.
The one that ended up being the evil witch at the end.
Agatha.
What was her? Agatha. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Agatha. I should have known that because of the song. It was Agatha all along.
Right.
Yeah. So she won Best Supporting Actress, which was great. Mandalorian Best Streaming Series, which is awesome for them. I'm just scrolling through the winners. It's just showing me the winners list. It's not showing me who they were up against. Let's see here. Seeing if there's any more. WandaVision won Best Streaming Limited Series, Anthology Series, or Live Action Television Movie. So that's good for them. I'm looking for more. See if there's anything else I should know about that I missed. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more for the Mandalorian there. Look, there's Ron from Harry Potter. He won Best Supporting Actor in a Streaming or Drama Series for something called The Servant. Okay.
Well, I guess I'm not only thinking about stuff on Disney Plus, but like on Netflix, Hulu, all that. In terms of drama series, there's a lot of stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting once, because I saw that picture that you mentioned just before we were recording. I saw the picture of Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and them holding their awards. I'd like to, I went to StarWars.com and didn't see anything fully written up yet. So like you said, it'd be interesting to see who was, in the category. But hey, take it to the bank, Star Wars fans. And I agree with you. The Mandalorian deserves it, especially, if you do look at the behind the scenes stuff for season 1, for this time for season 2. Of course, they had the hour-long special earlier this year, and then this most recent one came out just August 25th. And again, Aaron and I'll cover that next week.
Yeah, we will, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so congrats to them. And as more awards, we're getting award season, I would take it. So there's going to be more award shows coming up, and as they are happening, we'll let you know how Mando stacks up. So there we go. So I have been waiting, David. I know you're not a gamer, but I have been, and I'm not a gamer. I like playing games occasionally, but I have been waiting for well over 2 years for this Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga. And they finally gave us a trailer.
Right.
It was supposed to come out not this December, the December before that. And it got pushed back to summer. Then it got pushed back to December again. And now it's been pushed back to spring 2022.
Yeah, like you and I've talked many times, the Lego Star Wars is something that Eli played some different versions of it. My son did over the years. Never a ton, but enough that I could see it and watch it and enjoy it and see the different characters from different episodes. So I love Lego stuff. I love I mentioned it even in our last episode. I was really looking forward to the Halloween special that Lego is putting out. Lego
Terrifying Tales.
Exactly, yeah, and I absolutely loved the holiday special last Christmas. So and for me, even though I'm not a gamer, I've enjoyed people like I would watch people play Jedi Fallen Order. If you're playing, like we said, the any of the Lego ones, it's fun to watch people that know how to play it and watch them, get through it. But I did watch the trailer that was posted at StarWars.com. It's so good, and of course I love the humor. I love that, and I want to feel good with Star Wars, and so I hope I can talk Eli into getting on one of the platforms, and maybe just playing around, getting a controller and just him and I kind of tooling around, seeing what we can do and have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I would do. I'm definitely got it. I'm waiting for it. I'll get it for my Switch when it comes out. And the trailer just looked fun. I mean, I've always loved the Lego Star Wars games. They're just hours upon hours of just fun. So I've been looking forward to this one. I have which one do I have? I got the Force Awakens one they did. And I think that was the last one they released, was for the Force Awakens. They didn't do the Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker because they were doing this big one. And so we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. It looked like a blast, like all of the other ones. Because I've played all of the Lego Star Wars ones, the original trilogy, the complete saga series they released, and they had one Lego Star Wars that was based on the Clone Wars. It was Lego Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It was released and it never got released after that again. I would love if that would get re-released for like the Nintendo Switch or something, get a modernized version, because that was a fun game. You got to play as Ahsoka, you got to play as Obi-Wan and Anakin from the Clone Wars, and go through all these Clone Wars battles that we would see from the show.
Yeah, from the series, yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to that. But spring 2022, man, they just keep stringing me along. It's like they keep waving a carrot in front of me and yanking it away. Well, it's more like a cookie now because I'm on a diet. They keep waving chocolate chip cookies in front of me, then yanking them away when I reach for it.
They know how to keep you strung along, buddy.
Yeah, that they do. Yeah, just go put in a big York peppermint patty wrapper and just keep pulling it away. Next thing you know, they'll wrap it in a Klondike bar and ask me what I would do for one.
Anything at this point.
Exactly. Give it to me. So, yeah, so that's coming. So if the trailer was awesome, you got a great look at the game from the trailer. So check that out. I know I shared it when it came out, and so take a look at our social media. You'll find the trailer there. Really cool, really good. Also, talking Lego Star Wars, it was actually announced that the Apple Arcade, which is basically their paid gaming platform, is getting a new exclusive mobile game called Lego Star Wars Battles. No release date's been given yet. It just says coming soon. But basically, this is going to be a real-time player versus player game, minifigure battle game. So you get your minifigure or group of minifigures, and you basically just attack another person and their group of minifigures, and just try to build the best team you can get. I will say this: if Chopper's not in it, I will riot.
Right in the streets. Oh my gosh. How could you not have Chopper going against, some bad guys or something, Lego figures? So I can't imagine they wouldn't have them.
Yeah, if they don't, I'll burn it down.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned, I didn't know what Apple Arcade is. I mean, maybe it shows my age. So that you pay for that subscription.
Yeah, it's a subscription thing that Apple has now if you have an iPhone. I think probably an iPad too. I've not checked it on my iPad. It's just always been on my iPhone. And the only reason I have it is because we got Apple Music. We did an Apple Family package, and it came with Apple TV, Apple Music, and it came with the Apple Arcade, all included in the bundle. So, and my entire family can use their Apple IDs to log in. So that's the only reason I did it. I have it. So I'm looking forward to that, to give that a little test run when it comes out, see how it is. I mean, all the games I actually have now on my phone, which aren't a lot, but the few that I do have are all Apple Arcade games because they're different. They're unique. They're different. They're fun. And Lego's got several games in there, several player versus player battle type scenario games. So this will be interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to play it, but it looks cool. You and I got to come and have a Star Wars weekend with you and watch you do these battle royals here.
It'll be fun. We'll do it. We'll set it up. We will. So that's awesome. That pretty much rounds out our news. We don't have much other news than that. That we were going to cover. So awesome for that. So let's just go into randomly chatting about whatever we want. I have actually, David, going to what is it? The Central Florida Collectors Fest.
Ooh.
It's coming up here in Lakeland, where I live, at the Civic Center where they held Central Florida Comic-Con.
Right.
Actually, not this coming weekend, the weekend after that. I was kind of kicking it around on whether or not I wanted to go or not. But then I saw my old college roommate post that he was going, and I haven't seen him in several years. So now I'm like, okay, I got to go now.
Nice.
Got to go meet up with my college roommate, and another one of our friends has found out it's going to be there, and let's go have a little college reunion at the toy show.
Well, I do love that. Like with you in Lakeland, that Civic Center there really, that's a good little spot. And you and I have really enjoyed going to Central Florida Comic-Con there. Still bummed that I didn't make it this past June 12th. Not that I'm thinking, know the date and thought about it. I love going there with you, and we'll hopefully be back there in January again together. But is it, I guess, say a little bit about it. Is it just kind of collecting? Is it just kind of geekdom, fandom, or is it kind of like Star Wars, or is it more like a certain genre of collecting stuff, or what?
Well, this is basically, it's just a giant toy show is what it is. They're gonna have comics, toys, props, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be all kinds of vintage toys, real toys. The room they have is over 1,500 square feet of tables and toys that you can get, from Hot Wheels, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, Ghostbusters, My Little Pony, Barbie, Strawberry Shortcake. They'll have video games, vintage and modern. They'll have old Ataris. I saw somebody posted that they're bringing a bunch of N64s in, PlayStation, Genesis, everything. It's just going to be like literally a giant room full of toys that's going to probably cause me to get divorced.
Well, that's a running theme on this show.
My collecting gets me. It's going to buy me a date in divorce court, isn't it?
Well, I'm building an extra room here, buddy, so that when you get kicked out, you got a place here. A little ways from Lakeland, not far, but we're pretty close, bud.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That's Saturday the 18th. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. Yeah, which is going to be good because actually right now my collection is kind of shifting in what I like and what I don't like. I've been getting more into the you think when you shift your collection you'd be spending less money. No, not my case. Because I've shifted from small toys and action figures to Gentle Giant minibusts and Gentle Giant statues and sideshow action figures.
It's beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Which are stunningly gorgeous. And it's become almost an addiction at this point because I love them. Today I actually had the 1/7 scale mini bust of Grand Admiral Thrawn from Rebels show up, and he's gorgeous. He's simply gorgeous.
Aaron sent me a picture, and it is gorgeous.
Oh, he is stunning. I'm gonna have to do a opening. This one was limited to 3,000 pieces. So I'm gonna have to do an opening and take it out of the package and record it and post it up on the social medias when we get it. When I do that, but
yeah,
yes, he's not the first. I also have there'll be more coming. I pre-ordered the Kanan Jarrus one. And what was the other one there's another one I pre-ordered. That's from Gentle Giant. Sideshow. The Sideshow did the Clone Wars version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, full-size action figure. No, not life-size, but action figure. I got that pre-ordered.
Okay.
The one that looks just like, it's spitting image of Obi-Wan from Clone Wars, which of course was voiced by James Arnold Taylor. So that I'm like, I saw pictures of that when they first announced it, and I just immediately started drooling. Then I saw the price, and I tried to scoop up my drool and put it back in my mouth, but then I saw the picture again, and all the drool just came back. I'm probably grossing people out right now. I'm sorry.
Well, didn't you have? Because you showed it, or you sent me pictures of I thought a bust of Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars animation. Is it a full size of that kind of? It's a mini bust just like this Thrawn one of Obi-Wan, with his lightsaber out and his hand out, just like he's assume the battle position, just kind of like he. The best first reference I could think of is in episode 3, after he jumps down and is like, "Hello there," and he lights his lightsaber, throws his hand out, and got the lightsaber over his head. It's that pose. So yeah, I have that one. That is stunning. I also have the mini bust of Sabine Wren, which I was able to get a hold of. And then, of course, I just got a couple of statues, Gentle Giant statues, that one of them I ordered was the 100th episode of the Star Wars shows, limited edition statue they did. Oh, yes.
Of course, I got that because Chopper's in it.
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful piece.
Yes, so I got that. Then the other one I got at Celebration in Orlando, the Chopper with Ezra standing on his head.
Oh, I was there with you when 2017. I remember being on the show floor and you saw it and you're like, "Oh no!" And I think that's when you and I started talking back in 2017 about how this could end your marriage. I think that it all started right there.
Yes. Well, fortunately, leaving that convention center that day, that's the day I broke my hand. So everybody was distracted by what I bought.
Right.
My broken hand took precedence over what I bought.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. So I got more coming, and I'm kind of shifting away from actually looking at getting rid of a lot of my stuff. I got like two boxes of Black Series 6-inch Black Series figures that I'm just gonna up and sell and get rid of. Now I got just a couple boxes of just random stuff, like random late Star Wars Hot Wheels and stuff that I don't have room for, and I haven't seen them in months, in years at this point. So it's just like, it's not doing me any good. Somebody else could enjoy it. So I'm going to be getting rid of all that and moving more toward these type of statues and stuff.
Yeah.
And still keep everything centered on, my interests are still the same. They haven't changed. My collecting interests are still Obi-Wan Kenobi and Rebels.
Yeah.
So as long as it falls into those categories, I'm awesome.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. You and I, kind of keep our ears to the ground, and you can hear different collectors talk about stuff that they collect or how they've shifted what they like to collect and what catches their fancy and stuff like that. And it's really cool. And that, I think back to, the celebrations I've been to, and particularly that one where, you and I were going around the show floor in 2017 there at the Orange County Convention Center. It's huge. And you walk around, and I think, quite honestly, Aaron, I even felt it the 2 times you and I have been at Central Florida Comic-Con, walking around these vendors, they have so much cool stuff that now again, I see like 20 vendors. I love everything there. Someone else might come by and say, no, I don't like those 20 vendors. I like these 20 vendors, David. And, but when you and I were there, when you saw that, Ezra on top of Chopper, I remember seeing it, and I'm like, this is gorgeous. It's cool. Mm-hmm. And, you just look around and I've been this way where I'm like, I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm like, I want to collect all of this. All of it's cool. And it just, like you said, I'm glad you brought this up. It's just kind of like picking what, you and I and our listeners as Star Wars fans, what do they like, and going with it. But when you kind of taper it down, it feels more manageable and of course, hopefully more financially feasible as well. But I'm one of those persons. I like so much stuff, and I just don't have the bankroll to do it. But also, like you said, buddy, just the space. I have so much stuff from my childhood, large, like I have the AT-AT from 1980, or the AT-AT. And I've got a speeder bike from Return of the Jedi, 1983. You push a certain button and it blows apart. And we've got an original land speeder, to put Luke and C-3PO and R2-D2 on the back, and and just tons of my original action figures from 1978, right? Not 77, right? But 78, and then in 80 for Empire, and then the figures I got from Return of the Jedi. So just a lot of stuff, a lot of magazines that I kept. Of course, you and I've talked about the cards, and of course, Greg over at the Rebel Base Card does a lot of that. Collected those Star Wars Empire cards, Return of the Jedi, but not as much. And then just really enjoying those things. But, I found myself, and I put this in the show notes, you'd mentioned you're collecting. I'm glad you wanted to talk about that. Something that I haven't done for a while, buddy, was comics. And I'm a big comic guy. I grew up with them. I had Marvel and DC. My dad would get me tons of comics, and I just loved them, devoured them. loved all my heroes. Got the Star Wars comics when they came out, originally. But what I've been doing is a lot of High Republic this entire year, starting in January. Yeah. I guess I was going to ask you, we haven't talked a ton about High Republic. We have periodically, but have you been going through the novels? Have you been getting the comics, or not necessarily?
Yes and no. I've been reading the little stories they've been putting in Star Wars Insider.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been doing the audiobooks. But I am kind of stuck on Rising Storm. I don't know, for some reason I am struggling getting through that book. Which surprised me. I love Kevin Scott. But I am just struggling getting through Rising Storm, which, they're all great books. And some of the others, there's always going to be those books that you can't put down, and there's always going to be books that you struggle to get through. And to me, this is just one of those. I'm having a hard time, man.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I've had the same thing with, some of the ones that you and I've talked about. When you and I covered the Alphabet Squadron, I even tweeted to Dennis Keithley. He covered it on Jedi Journals with Jovial J there on Jedi Journals, and both of those guys and myself. It's hard to get through those three books. I enjoy them, but they're hard to get through, and they're dense. You and I have said that in our reviews. They're dense. Alexander Freed puts a ton in them, and there's times where I was like, whoa. It's just rough to get through. I mean, I love the stuff he talks about, Alexander Freed, particularly between, here we are, random chatter, between Soren Keys and Yurka Quell. And I've said that. I love those things. But yeah, with the High Republic, I've done all the novels, even, the middle grade and the young adult, the ones they've done. And but this, I actually have done the comics, and there's so many Star Wars comics, and there's so many series going. And this year, I've actually gotten them. I picked them up, and both the High Republic, the Marvel High Republic by Kevin Scott, like you mentioned him. I really enjoy Kevin Scott, and then the High Republic Adventures by IDW. And Daniel Jose Older, has been the author. And I really like how they've given me visuals of, the characters that we see in the novels. You and I both know you get visuals at StarWars.com. They give you a certain amount. But the comics have been pretty cool, and I've enjoyed those. I'm trying to decide, because what I've done before, and again, you and I have chatted about this a little bit, is I've liked the trade paperbacks, and I think one of the first trades coming out for the first, 6 of the High Republic. But I'm trying to decide as we move into the new year if I'm just going to start waiting for the trades. I don't know. Have you done the comics? Have you done them at all, or no? Or
no, I haven't done any of the comics from the High Republic. Yeah. I actually did. I haven't actually done Star Wars comics in a little while.
Yeah.
And did so it's been rough. I need to I haven't been to a comic store in forever. Just because I just haven't had time. And I need to get up to one because they just released the Batman 89 first issue of that, where it's basically picking up after the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman, and it's telling that story, and that's my favorite Batman. So I need to go pick that up. I just haven't had time. But no, the comics I just have not. I have not done it. Again, it comes down to, would I read them if I could? Yes, but do I have the space to store them if I got them? No, not really.
See, that's the thing. I know I'm up to 7 or 8 issues of the High. Yeah, I think they're on 8 and 9 respectively of the Marvel one and the IDW. So I notice it does start to take space. It's interesting. I will say this, and I don't know if people have, listening have, probably some have done the comics, some haven't. They do tie in nicely with the novels, but honestly, they've done it in such a way that you don't need them. I don't think. I mean, they're great. They work together, but the novels like Light of the Jedi and Rising Storm, as well as, like I said, the middle grades and the young adults, they'll keep you up to speed. So I like how they've done that. That you're not missing critical points of the story. It adds to it a depth to it. But you could get away with, just like I said, the books and stuff like that. I've liked the visuals. I like Kevin Scott's comic stuff. Daniel Jose Older's, seeing the art. I've been going back and forth, and I'll be curious what our listeners would say if they would recommend Marvel Unlimited, because then, at least the Marvel ones would load on. I think you can get the IDW. Is that a Comixology? I think that's what I've heard some other Star Wars fans talk about. I don't know. I've thought about Marvel Unlimited because then, just like you said, Aaron, space issues.
Yeah.
Either they're not loaded up immediately, right? Because they want people to buy the comics. But do I need them immediately? No, I don't. But I don't know. Something I'm thinking about is doing that. Because like you said, space. It's comics, individual comics take up space real fast.
Yeah, exactly. Hold that thought for a moment. We do have to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and I don't want to keep talking about this comic thing. So hold on. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Aaron and David here, or as I said at the beginning of the show, Thrawn and Ruch. We are having a random chatter episode. We're discussing everything under the sun. And before we took a break, we were talking about comics, and David was talking about considering doing the Marvel Unlimited and everything. I actually looked into that over like middle of 2020 when we were all isolated at home. And I couldn't get to comic stores and everything. I actually looked into doing that, but none of the new comics were on there. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for an unlimited comic thing when all I want are the new comics coming out. Right. So I didn't do it, and which is probably why I haven't read a comic since quarantine, to be perfectly honest. I don't try to think when the last time. Yeah, the last comic I got was before we started quarantine. But it's interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what they said because I did some research on it, on what the turnaround was on when the new issues hit versus. There's definitely a time drag in it, and it's more than just like a month or two. It was a while, because I know when I was looking at it in the middle of last year, the Charles Soule Darth Vader series that came out the year before was just dropping in. Yeah. And so I was like, well, if that's just dropping in, I don't want to, the stuff that's coming out now, I don't want to wait.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, and you and I have talked about trade paperbacks. I like those. I mean, you and I talked when we did the May 4th season and series premiere of the Bad Batch. Of course, we had Jason Fry on for that. Before we got on to record with Jason, I jumped into my 2 trade paperbacks for Kanan, The Last Padawan. Those 2, First Blood and The Last Padawan, and it was really convenient. Boom, flip through them. And I love that format. Now, I do, like I just mentioned before the break, Kevin Scott, his Marvel High Republic series started in January.
Yeah.
Is that right? January, end of January, beginning of February?
Yeah, I believe it was January.
Yeah. And so now here in August, we're recording this August 31st, the first trade paperback has come out. I think it has issues 1 through 5 or 1 through 6. And of course,
really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Well, I go to our former, colleagues at Coffee with Kenobi, Comics with Kenobi, now Star Wars Splash
Splash
Page.
page.
Yeah, Jeff and Matt do a great job of listing, what's coming out in each week, and so I always check that. And it's called, what is it called? There Is No Fear. So that was the first 5-6 issues. Forgive me that I don't know exactly, but usually trade paperbacks are 5 or 6 issues, depending on what Marvel does or IDW, what they want to do. And so that's a long wait time. January to August. That's now. And now some people say, you and I were just talking about collecting. Some people are like, no, that's fine. I'm going to collect my stuff in trade paperbacks. I get it. It's nice. I have a bunch. All the ones I have are all Star Wars, and they're uniform in size, and it's nice. Again, the issue is waiting. I do notice, I believe the second trade paperback is going to come out a bit quicker here, just towards the end of the year. So, it's nice. I've seen how Kevin Scott has tied his comic in with Rising Storm and the other novels and stuff like that. And it is kind of cool to see it play. And, Star Wars fans, we love these interconnections and we love all of it. But again, I guess it's like anything, right, buddy? If you pay for it now, it's, you pay for having it now versus, waiting till later. But I am considering, because of space, saying, well, let me put a little stop on this and wait for trade paperbacks to come out now for both. I do think the IDW, their first trade is out already as well for High Republic Adventures. And
Okay.
So if you just go to Star Wars Splash Page, they've got good coverage of that. They always kind of help me stay up on all that. Yeah.
Trust me, I know. They're the ones that got me
Right.
into comics to begin with.
Right.
I don't think my wife still has forgiven them for that. So yeah, I need to. I want to get caught up on those. I need to. I'll probably have to look for those trade paperbacks. Right now my focus, when it comes to comics, what I really want to get is, like I said earlier, that Batman 89, and they're doing another one, Superman 78, which is based on Christopher Reeve's Superman. And of course, those are the quintessential, when it comes to superheroes, those are the quintessential superheroes. Michael Keaton's Batman and Christopher Reeve Superman. That's it. Cavill got nothing on Christopher Reeve. And Affleck got nothing on Keaton.
Yeah.
So,
I'm with you. I hear you. I really grew up on Batman 66. Adam West, Burt Ward, but I do really enjoy that Batman 89. It's right there for me. Affleck, I just, like, as Batman, I didn't really like. I felt bad for Henry Cavill. I know I'm saying his last name wrong. He almost never got a chance to smile. Although, talking about random chatter, last not this weekend, but the weekend before, my son was begging me to watch the Snyder Cut. 4 hours.
Incredible.
Oh
my gosh.
Made it so much better from 2 hours to 4 hours. You know what I thought about? And this is perfect tie-in to Star Wars, is, we got the 2-hour version of Justice League, and you're like, wait, what? And I would ask people, I'd say to people, hey, who's the bad guy in Justice League? And people would look at me and go, I don't know. Yeah, and then you ask people, who's the bad guy in Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame? Oh, Thanos.
Yeah.
Right. And so I would tell people, I'm like, it's Steppenwolf, and they're like, who? Right. And in this version, add 2 more hours, and then you see Steppenwolf as kind of a baddie, but not the big bad, right? So here comes Darkseid, who's like the Emperor, right? You got the bad and then the big bad. So it was a lot better. Plus, I looked at my son and I said, wait a minute. I see Henry Cavill, Superman, Clark Kent smiling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wait a minute. But it was nice to see that. And it was a nice change of pace. But I think he's done, right? No more Superman for him, and Affleck's out as Batman, right?
Yep.
Well, I guess right, because Patterson's playing. What's Patterson? What's his first name? I'm blocking. He's from the Twilight series. He's playing Batman.
Oh yeah. Team Edward.
Team Edward. Right.
And, that's Robert Pattinson.
Thank you for saving. You're all there. You saved me on that one. Saw a preview of that when I went to go see Suicide Squad at the beginning of the month. Was it the Suicide? I think they're putting a "the" because there was Suicide Squad. This was the Suicide Squad. But no,
I got to ask you, since you brought it up.
Ooh.
What did you think about it?
I liked it. I liked it, and my son liked it. It's it's the ultra violent. It's just holy mackerel, over the top. I really like Harley Quinn and the actress. Is it Margot Robbie? Am I getting that right?
Robbie. Yeah.
I really like her as Harley Quinn, and it was really enjoyable. I ended up really liking John Cena as the Peacemaker. It's a great name, Peacemaker. He kills 5 billion people in the movie. I'm Peacemaker. A quick side story. I saw him in real life, John Cena.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. This guy.
I'm sorry. You got to realize, I'm from I used to be a big wrestling fan, and I'm from the generation that when Cena got huge, I was amongst the adult crowd that hated him. So I have a strong distaste, a dislike of John Cena.
It's funny because I was from that generation. I would watch, Hulk Hogan and body slam, Andre the Giant, and
listen here, brother.
Oh my God, take your vitamins, say your prayers, and then he was Hollywood. What is it? Hollywood
Hulk Hogan.
Oh no, my gosh, it was horrible. And you got to come back to being Hulk. And but all those guys, and Ultimate Warrior and Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. But I never really watched him. I never saw him get big and stuff. I just knew him. And I happened to be over at the Daytona 500. This is, I don't know how many years back. I'd never been to it before in my lifetime. And so I'm over there, and before the Daytona 500, you can go into the pits and walk around, right, and see the cars, and you're just right up. This of course is before COVID, all this stuff, and I'm looking at these, and I'm someone I was fortunate enough to play high school and college basketball. That was my scene, and it was, race car and NASCAR was never my scene, but it was incredibly fascinating to see these cars, to see the people working on these cars, and how intricate it is, and the strategy, all that stuff, tires, everything. It was very fascinating to me. But I was walking, and Brad brought up basketball, and of course Aaron always alludes to our height difference. I'm 6'4", and so I'm walking. And I look over, and John Cena, he's built like you saw, in Suicide Squad, he's just ripped. He's just jacked. And to see him up close, he just walked by with his wife. I looked at him, and he's probably comes up to my shoulder. He's just this, but he could just break you in half. And so it was kind of neat. He just kind of looked up at me, and I smiled at him. I didn't really know, if it was Hulk Hogan, I'd go up and say hi and kind of have my picture with you. But I just kind of, saw him and didn't bother him because he was with like I said, with his wife, and they were looking at the cars as well. But anyways, I didn't know that you had a disdain for John Cena. So.
Yeah. Well, if it would have been me, I would have bumped into him and looked at him and like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
Trust me, you'd see him and go, that guy will break me in half.
Well, I'll tell you this, because I actually met Hogan.
Ooh.
I had, and it really wasn't a meeting like, hey, how you doing? I had gone on a ski trip that turned out disastrous for me. Ended up on crutches coming home, and my flight got delayed. And the people I was traveling with ended up on a different flight than me, and I was by myself on crutches trying to get off the plane. And as I was the plane had landed, I was trying to get off the plane. I was trying to get my crutches situated. I was trying to get my backpack out of the overhead compartment, and I was not having a good time. I was struggling, and I'm trying to get the bag over my shoulder while trying to get the crutches in place, and it's not working out. And all of a sudden I feel somebody pull on my bag, and I turn around, and he goes, "I got you, brother." And he carried my backpack off the plane for me. And when we got off, he helped me get it on my bag. And he's like, "All right, I got to go." And he took off because people were coming at him, wanting to get pictures and stuff. That's my Hogan story. That was my Hogan story, flying into Tampa. So.
Well, and he lives in Tampa. Yeah,
exactly. So he was coming home from somewhere. That's my Hulk Hogan story there. That was a unique encounter.
My John Cena story is not as cool as that.
It's still pretty cool.
Yeah. We got on this because we were talking about comics and the movies and stuff, and I just tried to catch up this month with a lot of DC stuff, and because I've really watched all the Marvel movies, but it's been interesting. The Joker was critically acclaimed, very successful, very powerful. I still think, Dan Z on Coffee with Kenobi put out one of the Patreon episodes where they rate the top 5 superhero movies. I put Dark Knight number 1. I did have Batman 89 on my list, and I thought you'd be happy about that. And I have Superman 2. I love
that was a good one.
Oh, when he battled Zod and Ursa, and I'm trying to remember the big guy, the big oaf.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Had to ask me because I just blanked on his name because you asked. I can see him as plain as day. He just stands there and grunts and groans.
Right, he does. And think about this. That was my first time really kind of remembering Terrence Stamp. Now, to tie it back to Star Wars, he plays Chancellor Valorum. And Apprentice, there he is.
Non.
There you go.
Non.
Nice.
Non.
Yep. Zod, Non, and Ursa. Yeah.
Those were great movies. I mean, that whole group of Superman movies with Christopher Reeve. I mean, him, Margot Kidder, you had Gene Hackman, Ned Beatty, Jackie Cooper. Of course, Jackie Cooper from he was in Little Rascals originally. At one point, these are just star-studded cast, man. You mentioned Terrence Stamp. I mean, it's just, you can't get. John Ratzenberger was in it, for crying out loud. It's in Superman 2, and John, and catch this. I didn't know this till just now. Lobot was in it.
No way.
John Hollis, who played Lobot in Empire Strikes Back, was a Krypton elder in Superman 2.
No way.
Huh.
Hey, I think another tie from Ursa, the actress who played her.
Yeah.
I believe, and our listeners can, and other fans, Star Wars fans, Superman fans can correct me. I believe she was married to Richard LeParlementer, who was Admiral, Mahdi. Admiral Mahdi. Yeah, not Taggy, but Mahdi. He's the one who gets choked by Vader.
Yeah.
Right? He died, I don't know how many years ago, but I believe they were married. They're both British.
They were from 81 to 84.
Oh, they were married at that time?
81 to 84. Yep. They were married. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm looking, and Mahdi was also in Superman 2. Richard, pardon me, we played a reporter.
I wonder if that's where they met.
I don't know. That's interesting. It's amazing what you find when you start randomly chatting about stuff.
Right.
That is stinking awesome. So Admiral Mahdi, Lobot, Major Durbin,
right,
and
Chancellor
Valorum were all in Superman 2.
Thus, one of the greatest superhero movies of all time because of all the Star Wars awesomeness.
There we go. I love it. Oh my gosh. I love this. I absolutely love this. We're just going to start picking random movies and scrolling through the cast and see who's at what Star Wars connections we can make. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. And that was such a good movie too. Superman 2. Oh man. I just loved those movies. Marlon Brando as Jor-El.
Oh. Question for you.
Yes.
Superman 3, The Quest for Peace. Thoughts on that with Richard Pryor?
Actually, Superman 3 was just called Superman 3. Superman 4 was The Quest for Peace, because that is when he destroyed the nuclear missiles and Luthor attached a device to create Nuclear Man. That was Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Oh. Superman 3 was simply Superman 3 and did have Richard Pryor in it.
Yeah.
Weird.
It was very weird.
It was very weird. It was fine. I mean, I've watched it. I can't tell you how many times I've watched it. But it was good. It gave us a look at Smallville life. I love the fact that they had Lana. It showed us Lana Lang. Ned O'Toole played Lana Lang, who of course played Martha Kent in Smallville. So those two, and I loved Smallville, this TV show Smallville. That was when I was just out of college, and all my college friends, that was our thing. We'd get together Wednesday nights and we would just watch the newest episode of Smallville. So yeah, it was good. You know, it wasn't out of the 4 with Christopher Reeve. That was probably the bottom on the list. Yeah. I would probably go 2, 1, 4, 3.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's funny because I was thinking about Batman 89, how much I enjoyed that, as well as Batman Returns, right? Both
of those were just so good.
Right? And then they go to Batman Forever. I did like Jim Carrey's Riddler, but overall, you know, I didn't really like Val Kilmer's Batman. I wanted it to still be Keaton. And then when they did Batman and Robin, and of course Schwarzenegger
made Kilmer look really good, huh?
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah, when George Clooney came in, oh my gosh, and had Schwarzenegger, and then Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. Very colorful, very comic booky, but kind of very similar to, you know, Christopher Reeve as Superman. I like the first 2, and not so much 3 and 4. Same thing with those Batmans. I liked, you know, Batman 89 and Batman Returns, and didn't really like the 2 after it. Kind of a similar, you know, kind of vibe for both of those kind of periods of time for those movies, you know.
Well, I got to ask you before we start wrapping up here.
Sure.
We talked about the 4 Supermans. How did you feel about Superman Returns? Because basically that was Reeves' Superman, just recast it. It continued that story.
Yeah, wasn't the Superman Brandon Routh?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and I remember him, what is it, in the movie, he catches that plane before it, you know, lands in in
the baseball stadium.
Yeah. I liked it, but then all of a sudden it's like gone and no more with him.
Well, it didn't get, it was box office. It was a bust. That's why you didn't see any more with them.
Yeah.
But to me, I will take him as Superman and Superman Returns over Henry Cavill any day.
Yeah.
Because his was,
Yeah.
to me, when I think Superman, the quintessential Superman for me has always been Christopher Reeve. Everything I've watched about Superman, whether it's been the old George Reeve black and white, any of the New Adventures of Superman animated series, or the movies, Christopher Reeve has always been my measuring stick. Because that's the ones that's what I grew up on. And to me, Brown and Ruth, that was just such an awesome tribute to Christopher. It told a great story. It was awesome. I thought Kevin Spacey made a good Lex Luthor. I thought he did great. I did really enjoy that movie. There were a lot of nods to Christopher, and it was obviously a carry. It was, I don't know. To me, it was just perfect. To me, that would be Superman 5. It wouldn't have ended with 4. That would have been Superman 5. And I can definitely see Christopher Reeve's Superman in Brandon Routh's portrayal.
Oh, definitely. And I'll tell you this, it breaks my heart, to see how things ended for Christopher Reeve and for Margot Kidder.
Yes.
Me as a clinical psychologist, to see, how she suffered with bipolar disorder and some other stuff. But I really, really, for me, it's the same. Christopher Reeve is my quintessential Superman. And so it just, very, very, a lot of fun to reminisce about those movies. Yeah, it's I guess a lot of fandom it gets into this, right? It's not just Star Wars, but it's all the comic book genre and geekdom and fandom and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you see, when we say random chatter, we mean completely random chatter. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up because we got a full episode here, but we'll definitely be back with another random chatter in the future. So don't miss out. David, if somebody wants to talk to you about Star Wars or about comics or just about anything in general, how would they go about doing that, buddy?
That's right. 3 places. First one, Twitter @David_Modders, MODDERS. The other one is email, david@StarWarsReactions.com. And Instagram, just look for me, David Modders, and I'm there.
There we go. If you want to talk Star Wars or anything with me, you can always hit me up here on here I'm not on. You're not listening to this on Twitter. So let's redo that. If you want to, Carabast, we can't even make it through an episode without a Carabast. So if you want to talk Star Wars with me, hit me up on Twitter, TAHarris121079. You can always email me, Aaron@StarWarsReactions.com. And let's go. We'll talk about anything, obviously. Look at this episode. If you want to give us your thoughts on anything we've talked about today, whether it be Star Wars or since we did randomly go into Batman, Superman, and everything else, hit us up on social media. You can get us on Facebook and on Instagram, both at SW Reactions. And of course, you can hit us up on Twitter at SW Reactions Pod and let us know what you thought of the episode. You can also email us show@StarWarsReactions.com. Well, we're almost done here, and I just want to go ahead and, of course, end the show the same way we have started doing, which, of course, means we are bringing up this week's Star Wars dad joke of the week. Are you ready for this, David?
Oh my gosh! How could I be ready for this? No one is ready for this.
I think I need that old ESPN Jock Jam song. Are you ready for this? All right. This week's Star Wars dad joke of the week. Why are Death Star pilots fed up with space battles?
I don't know. Why are they fed up with space battles?
Because they always end up in a tie.
Oh
Uh,
I had not heard that before. It's so bad, it's funny.
they always end up in a tie.
Oh.
Wah, 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 wah.
Like I said, everybody listening, please don't unsubscribe. Keep us, or don't leave us a bad review because of this. Oh my God.
It's all good. David, my friend, this has been a blast.
Absolutely, buddy. Always love to record with you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. We love y'all. Y'all are awesome. Y'all the greatest. We appreciate each and every one of you. Stay healthy, stay safe. We're praying for y'all. Remember, this is your place for elegant discussion for a more civilized age.
If you'd like to share your thoughts, you can email us at show@starwarsreactions.com for our show notes and the latest news from the Star Wars universe. Visit our website at www.starwarsreactions.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at SWReactionsPod or on Facebook at Star Wars Reactions. If you enjoy our show, please leave a review on iTunes. This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or by Lucasfilm Limited. It's intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars. All names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and the respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Star Wars Reactions unless otherwise indicated. Star Wars Reactions. Elegant discussion for a more civilized age.